Hey team, hope you're doing well. Today's topic, I wanted to discuss a very important topic, and that is how do I stop stressing about injuries? I know a lot of you out there are dealing with it. I myself have experienced so many different running related injuries. I've had 3 knee surgeries. They had to go in twice on my knee, on my left knee for floating bodies, pieces of cartilage that broke off. That's their term for it, floating bodies, and once on my right knee when I was in college. And the most important thing that you can do if you're injured is do the very best you can to not try to rush the process of healing. Okay, there's a lot of things that you can do right in terms of healing, but one of the things you definitely can do wrong is trying to rush the process and trying to get back out there and getting back into doing tempo runs and track workouts when you're injured. Okay, so stop stressing over things that are outside of your control when it comes to injuries. You are in control of what you tell yourself on a daily basis. You are in control of the actions that you take when you are injured. Okay, so some of my top recommendations if you're dealing with any type of injury is definitely do not try to continue to run on an injury. Okay, especially if it's like Achilles tendonitis or if you have patellar tendonitis. I mean, some of the injuries I've had are patellar tendonitis, Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis. I've had piriformis syndrome, 3 knee injuries, like I said, some shin splints one time. So just in terms of injury prevention, make sure that you always listen to your body first and do not try to continue to train on an injury, okay? Especially if it's an impact type related injury where it's every time you land on your foot, you continue to feel pain. The best thing you can do is take time off. Now, the next best recommendation, if you don't want to take time off, is to get in the deep end of a pool and do pool running, because pool running, you have zero impact on your joints, on your ligaments, and you can still focus on your form. You can still do those types of workouts. Tempo runs in the pool. You can still do long runs in the pool. The only problem is pool running is extremely boring. Okay, when I was stationed in Belgium back in 2005, I had a real bad case of piriformis syndrome. Okay, that's in your rear end, runs all the way down the back of your thigh. And I did everything I could to try to get back into shape. And, I was selected for the All-Army team to go to the 2005 Army 10 miler. I had to sit that out. That was a free flight out from Belgium to DC and back, hotel stay, food, all that was covered, but I couldn't go because of that. And the thing I was doing at the time, at that time I had access to a physical therapist, so I was getting ultrasound a couple times per week. And again, ultrasound does get down deep into the tissues. It does break up the scar tissue. But again, it still takes a long time for the body to heal, even with ultrasound. So again, in terms of how do I stop stressing about injury, the best thing you can do is just allow your body to heal itself on its own time. Do not try to think that you, by going out and running and continuing to add to that stress wherever that area is on your body, it's just not worth it. And really, it's just running at the end of the day, okay? I know it's tough when you want to go out and you want to do fast workouts or you want to get your long runs in, and when you're injured, you can't continue to put in that type of consistent work that you're used to. And so dealing with that, there is a level of stress, because especially when you have a goal in mind, you have a specific time goal you're aiming for, or a specific race you have in mind, and you can't prepare because of that injury that you're dealing with. It's stressful, but at the same time, the longer you're in the sport and the longer you realize that, hey, the body always does heal itself, but it will heal itself on its own time. And there are obviously precautions, things that we can do as middle to long distance runners to ensure that we do not get injured. Wearing the right proper types of shoes, running on softer surfaces if possible. If I always recommend to athletes, if you can run on grass or on dirt rather than on concrete or pavement, that is the way to go. I spent a lot of years out in Colorado Springs, about 7 years of my military career when I was still serving, and so I had access to plenty of dirt trails, plenty of softer surface type runs, where I wasn't just spending all my time running, doing long runs on pavement or concrete. If you can get access to a grass track or a dirt track, definitely go that route rather than, or running on an all-weather track, of course, is going to be the second best option. Do your best not to get on a paved track, and they're rare anyways. Most of the time you can find an all-weather track, but even better is a dirt track or a grass track, and we had both of those out in Colorado Springs. The Kenyans that I trained with absolutely loved running on those grass and dirt tracks, and again, they're used to that over in Kenya as well. So running on softer surfaces is less impact, less stress on your joints and ligaments, and so that is definitely another great way to minimize your chances of injury. And without a doubt, one of the biggest causes of these injuries is because motivated athletes such as yourself, and myself included, because I was there as well, we get so wrapped up in not wanting to miss any time. And of course, if you're training for a race and you're injured, it's very, very hard to get that time back if you have to sit out for a few weeks or even a few months. If that's the case, which a lot of times it is, you have to reevaluate your goals and the types of races that you're going for. Okay, if you're training for the New York City Marathon, and which usually takes place in November, you get injured, then hey, okay, now I might have to focus on a race in maybe March or April instead. So I know how difficult that is, and like I said, I've dealt with numerous injuries over the years too. And just some of the things I was doing was, if you have any type of sore muscles or just aches and pains, and you fill some styrofoam cups up with water, put it in your freezer, and you can peel around the side of the styrofoam cup as it melts, and just sit there and massage your arm, massage your calves, or whatever part of your body is hurting. That is a great method. Sometimes warming muscles using like a heating pad prior to your workout, and then icing after you get back. So a mixture of both warmth as well as cold is very beneficial for your muscles as well in terms of healing. Ice baths, without a doubt, over the years I utilize those all of the time. Ice baths will help to also minimize the muscular tears and help to flush out that lactic acid. And I know it's painful to get in an ice bath, or if you have like a whirlpool if you're in school and you have access to a athletic trainer, get in that ice tub. Now your legs and your body will go numb after about 5 to 6 minutes in there. It's going to hurt very badly. It will be very uncomfortable for the first few minutes. And most of you, if you ever had done ice baths on a routine basis, or if you ever done them in the past, it's going to be painful at first, but then after a while, your legs will start to feel warm, and it actually, the pain goes away. Because again, it's just sitting in there after so long, you won't feel the effects, but the long-term effects of doing ice baths is a great option to minimize the amount of injury, and it's just a great injury prevention as well as a recovery method after you do these workouts that you guys and gals out there are doing. So definitely keep that in mind. But in terms of how to stop stressing about injury, that's my recommendation, because just from my own experiences and all the injuries I had, you just can't rush healing. Okay, the body's going to handle the healing process on its own time, and of course we can do things that will help speed the process, but again, it's still a long-term. It takes several weeks to heal a lot of these injuries, and depending on the severity of the injury, if you have to have surgery on your Achilles, or you have to have surgery on your knees like I had, depending on the seriousness, severity of the injury. When I had my patellar issues, they had just had to go in and do microscopic just removal of the floating bodies, and I was on crutches for about a month, and I was able to start running after about 4 or 5 weeks after the surgery was complete. So orthoscopic knee surgery is what they call it. So if you have that type of knee-related injury in surgery, it's relatively quick. But again, if it's something more severe, then it may take several months or several more weeks in order to get back out on the roads or back on the track doing those workouts. So just remember, it's just running. There will be other races, there will be other workouts, other track sessions and road sessions you'll be able to do. But remember, your mental health and your physical health overall is the most important thing, not running. Okay, running is secondary compared to all those other things. and sometimes we put the running before our overall mental and physical health. So I hope this is helpful for any of you all out there that are dealing with some kind of stress regarding your injuries or feeling like you're injured in some. Just remember, if you're starting to feel that, definitely start icing, 10 to 15 minutes each day. Also, prop your legs up on the wall after your workouts for about 15 minutes. This is something Jack Hayes, and my collegiate coach at Malone University, had us do. It helps to flush out the lactic acid, helps to refresh the legs. Propping your legs up for about 10 to 15 minutes after each one of your workouts. Do that as well. Ice baths, complete rest if you're injured, and if you want to stay active, definitely get in the deep end of a pool. Okay, pool running is something a lot of athletes haven't considered, so definitely do that as well. 12 feet of water where your feet aren't on the ground, and you can just focus on your form. You can wear a flotation device. It's much more easier if you're wearing a flotation device. You can do your long runs. Taking the flotation device off will force you to really pump your arms and pump your legs just like you're running, but no impact. So I hope this is helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment below if there's anything that's on your mind in regards to any type of topic, as well as any other topic you want me to cover in my next video. And check out the resources on RunDreamAchieve.com if you want to get a training plan or a running course, or you want to work one-on-one with me each month as your coach. There's that option as well. So I wish you all the best in your training. Hope you stay healthy, and just remember, it's just running. Okay, there's so much more to life than just how fast we run, our accolades, what we achieve. They're important, but at the same time, your health and physical and mental health is the most important thing. So wish you all continued success, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.